Welcome back to episode 4 of the weighing room with the Winners Enclosure. We are all about Cheltenham this week. We're going to run through the entire card on Friday and then also the Paddy Power Gold Cup on the Saturday. Some exciting racing. I love this meet because you get to see some big names that are going to come here and then later on in the season head to the festival. So you get to scope out a couple that maybe haven't run in a while or some new faces on the scene. I'm going to be there on Saturday or Friday as well. So hopefully we can pick some winners between us because I'll probably back a couple.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a good day. And do you know what? I was looking earlier, as I mentioned to you before, Frankie, I'm at Twickenham watching the rugby on Saturday. But I'm so envious because Saturday's going to be a great day. I mean, look, even if you'll go into the racing and you want to bring someone, there's plenty for other people to see that may not want to see the racing, not sure why you wouldn't. But, you know, you've got Caleb Cooper from the Amazon Prime Clarkson's Farm Show. I don't know if you've seen that, but it's so good.
Yeah, I haven't seen the show, but I did see the Jockey Club or somebody post that he was going to be there doing something.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
So it means nothing to me.
Well, you've got 2 days.
Yeah, I guess do my research.
But yeah, it looks to be a good day. There's so much there, you know, you've got the ROR parade, Thunder Display, air show. So I just think, you know, if you're going racing, you want to bring other people. Like, I think it's just worth people knowing there's plenty there to see for a good day's racing. So very envious that you're going to be there.
I'm there all weekend, so I'll be in a state come Monday. I'll be one tired man come Monday morning.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. We'll get stuck in with the Conditional Jockeys Handicap on the Friday at 1:10. The Winners Enclosure have gone with Fergal O'Brien's Art Approval, and I am suggesting the same. We spoke about Fergal a lot when we previewed Cheltenham the other week, and not too many of us actually had him down as our selections, and then he went and won the first, the last, and had a couple of seconds and thirds. So I'm not making that same mistake twice. I really like Liam Harrison as a jockey as well. Fergal always does well at Cheltenham. He's in form. It's kind of ticking a lot of boxes in a race that nothing stands out in particular for me. So yeah, my pick and the Winners Enclosure for that one is Art Approval. What about yourself, Hannah?
Well, just quickly before I go on to my selection, just talking about Fergal actually. So I've got a pick with Fergal today for Saturday. But I just thought Takani, who I mentioned last week, did really well, came second. And as I mentioned in last week's podcast, was a horse that I absolutely fell in love with when we were at the yards. That was great to see. But my pick for this race is going to be the Wrekin. Now, I've been seeing the Wrekin, but I do believe it is the Wrekin, and that is ridden by Ben Godfrey. Now, this horse has won this distance before. Its first win of last season was in May. Now, obviously, that is a drier season. So, do you know what the weather is going to be on Friday? Is it going to stay a bit drier?
It says good to soft. It's raining currently, but someone I know was down there this morning, and they were like saying it's pretty fast ground. I think it'll be good to soft, but if it was anything like it was in October, they've just kept it in such good condition that it's like a carpet. But I think it'll be good to soft. It's a bit of rain still.
Okay, so this could be great. So yeah, this is my pick. What else do I have to say on this horse? Yeah, I really like this horse. I watched it race in a replay, and I thought it was a really great horse. So this is my pick for the 13:10.
Awesome. Next up is the Paddy Power Handicap Chase. Tricky one to say for me, so I'll go. The Winners Enclosure have given 2. Stolen Silver, the favourite, and also Fanzio. So at a bit of a price, 14-1. So you could have Stolen Silver or Fanzio each way from them. My selection is going to be Editeur de Gite. I'm guessing you say it like that. These French names are quite hard for the Moors. But Ryan Moore's not on it, which, although I like Ryan Moore's jockeys, they're one of the reasons I'm selecting it. It's got a claimer on taking £5 off. Won a grade 3 of 10 stone 9. It fell in its last race, and it hasn't gone up the weights since then. It's rated 140 with that claimer on board and with its previous form. I think it's got a very good chance. So Editeur de Gite for myself.
Here goes my French accent attempt. So we go Cap or Teal. is my pick. So when I was looking earlier, it was at 9-2, but it's gone down to 11-2 with Bet365. I think for what it was, I think it's quite a big prize for this horse and what it can achieve. It is stepping up in class, and since its Chase debut, it has won 4 of its 7 starts, all over 2 miles. So it'll be interesting to see how it gets on in this one. Carrying 10 stone 11, runs. Oh dear. I say this every time, right? So I'm just going to say my handwriting in my notes is never good. But yeah, it will be a nice horse to see run. I'm looking forward to seeing it go. So that's my pick for the 13:45.
Awesome. Well, yet to agree. Oh no, me and myself and Winners Enclosure have one of the first.
Yeah.
Third race, 220. Bit of a funny race. Novice Chase. There's only 3 horses entered, which I think. I mean, it's hard to go against the 1 to 3 shot, especially when we are not playing for money here and we're selecting, who we think will win and not really taking the market into account. But I think if there was more running in this race, it wouldn't be a 1 to 3 shot. And I do think that if you were having a bet, then the value is outside of the favourite in my Drogo. I think you, at 7 to 2, you take your chances on Henry de Bromhead and Rachel Blackmore, who has done nothing wrong, been chasing successfully, coming, I think, first, second, first, or something along those lines. So I wouldn't be backing my Drogo at 1 to 3 first time chasing. However, it's a machine of a horse. And the Scoutons have got some novice chasers going well already this year. So that is my selection. I just think there's 0 value there at 1 to 3. So my selection is my Drogo. The Winners Enclosure have actually gone with Henry de Bromhead, horse that I mentioned, Gin on the line.
Yep. So I'm going with my Drogo. I absolutely love this horse. I've been super excited to see him back out and running. As you said, absolute monster of a horse. So as you mentioned as well, it's the Chase and debut. I'm a huge fan of the Skelton team. I think they're a great team, and this horse, as well as actually with Harry Skelton riding, I think it's brilliant. So I am going to agree with you on that one. I mean, I always, like most people, I always like to see the horses in the parade ring, and I just think he stands out so much in the parade ring. And after my masterclass with Jim McGrath in the parade ring, I just feel like now I have to see them walk. And when the first time I saw him, I thought he's amazing. But, he's had an absolute brilliant time already. Unbeaten over hurdles. So it'd be really nice to see him go over fences. But, anything can happen. But I think he's a machine. I think he'll go really well. So
if it wins well, if it jumps well, particularly, could be an exciting.
Yeah.
The Scouts have done. They've been in noticeably good form, and with their chasers as well this year, so you'd expect it to.
Yeah, I mean, Gin Online will be a threat, so it'd be good to see. I'm really disappointed that it's a 3-horse race. I just think it's just so disappointing, especially when I've wanted to see this horse run, and I've been waiting for it, and I was like, oh, for goodness sake. So, disappointing, but there we go. That's my pick for the 14:20.
Next one, the cross-country chase. And I'm agreeing again with the Winners Enclosure. They've gone for Freewheeling Dylan, the Irish Grand National winner at 150 to 1. Whoever selected it that day, very well done. And again, my selection, so I'm agreeing Freewheeling Dylan. I just think it won the national and got hiked up in the weights a little, but it's still been performing well. I think it's ran 2 or 3 times since over in Ireland and has been running well in the staying races. And there's absolutely no reason why it couldn't come here and do just as well. So although, you might have, well, when it won the national, you'd have it down as a freak win at 150 to 1, but it's done everything right since. So I think it is an impressive horse. And as I said, there's no reason why it can't win here at around 10 to 1 currently. So Dylan for me.
I found this a real tricky one. I'm going with Plan of Attack. Now, earlier I was looking at some statistics and some trends. So I'm just going to rule those out because, it's worth noting these down when you are taking your picks. So 10 of the last 12 winners were aged between 9 and 11. All 12 of the last winners were geldings. Actually, there was one statistic, I think it was like all winners were bay. And I thought, don't know if that's worth noting down. 6 of the last 12 winners carry between 10 stone 2 and 10 stone 11. So I took that into my brain. I can't think of the word. I took that on board when I was choosing
Into
The horse, yeah, into consideration. Can't quite get my words out today. Rachel Blackmore has ridden this horse before. Now, as you mentioned before, Rachel Blackmore, Henry de Bromhead, I mean, they're another dream team, aren't they? I think she is currently riding the favourite. But yeah, this is the one I'm going for, Plan of Attack, and I just think you can't go wrong with a Henry de Bromhead horse. Now, in the last appearance, it did weaken towards the end of its last race, but, you know, nothing, looking at the form, nothing really stands out in particular. But I think it will go okay in this one. That is my pick for this one, Plan of Attack.
That's the Cross Country Chase.
So now we move on to the 3:30, the Ballymore Novice Hurdle, run over 2 miles 5. And the Winners Enclosure are going for, now I'm going to say Gelino Bello, not Galino Bello, Gelino Bello. Now I am going to disagree with this one. So that one is currently the favourite, I do believe. Frankie, do correct me if I'm wrong, if you've got the older... The old thing at there, yeah. So I'm going with, I do believe it still should be the second favourite, Off Your Rocco, and that is from the Gordon Elliott stables. Now, Off the Rocco carries £5 more than the favourite. It's won at this distance before, and this season, or recently, has had 2 runs on soft ground. So I suppose, you know, you said it is fast ground. If we did see some rain, you know, wouldn't be a problem, could work in the favour. Not too worried really, but he's won 5 of his 6 starts and 3 of 4 of those since hurdling. So I think it could go well. So that is my pick. It's Off Your Rocco.
Off Your Rocco. Gelino Bello. I'm agreeing with the Winners Enclosure. Mainly because, well, I mean, it's pretty unexposed. It's got some good form in behind I Like to Move It, which won here at Cheltenham in October, beating Tritonic and Stepney Causeway. So quite an impressive horse, and it wasn't too far behind that in a bumper race, and then came out to win well. First time hurdling last time out. So I think off of that form in the bumper, and then jumped well and went well enough over hurdles, I think it's the deserving favourite of 5-4, and I'd like to see it win. So yeah, Gelino or Gelino Bello.
So moving on to the 4 o'clock, the Novices Handicap Hurdle, run over 2.5 miles furlong. Now, the Winners Enclosure are going for Sashenka. Goodness me, I look at my handwriting and every time I think I need to sort that out because I don't know what I've written. Sashenka, so I'm disagreeing with the Winners Enclosure. I think actually I've disagreed with all of them so far. But going back to when we were talking about Fergal O'Brien earlier, I'm going for his horse that runs in this race, Samba Dancer. I think it's got good form. It's a previous winner on this course and trip. Carries 11 stone 7. It's carried more previously and won last time out on the 23rd of October. I think, was this your pick? I think a couple of weeks ago.
Samba Dancer.
Yeah, it was the favourite and it won. And it was a horse I looked at and I thought, no, I'm not going to go with it. And you know what? Big regrets because I should have done. So yeah, his form's great and I think it will go well. He's already had tremendous success since moving to Fergal. So.
Is like,
sorry?
Like a Fergal in the last is just like a unwritten rule that if Fergal's got to win in the last, you should back it. He had won when was it, in October? He had a big price winner. I'm going for Evan Williams' horse. How Do You Like Me Now? Also, I think a trainer seems to do well in, although this isn't a bumper, but seems to do well in a bumper or a last race of the day, the lucky last. It's won 2 novices. And the second last race it ran in was a long way clear, and then the last race, although only winning by a length or so, the first 2 were a long way clear of the rest of the field. So a good form coming into this race, and I think it will go well. I think it's a tricky race to pick, but How Do You Like Me? How Do You Like Me Now for Evan Williams is my selection.
Okay, so we are going to move on now to Saturday's race. This is the only race we're covering for Saturday at Cheltenham, which is the Paddy Power Gold Cup, ridden over 2 miles 4. I am agreeing with the Winners Enclosure. This is my first agreement with the Winners Enclosure this week. What have I written there? I know. Protectorate. Now, I've written this down in big letters on my notes because I said it wrong earlier. I was struggling to remember about this horse. So another Dan Skelton horse again. I do like these horses. But just looking at last year's winner, Cool Cody, will be making a return to try and defend the title. But here's a bit of a statistic. Well, not really a statistic, but a bit of previous history. There's only ever been 2 back-to-back winners, which were Half Free and Bradbury Star. So if you put that into consideration, the odds aren't really in Cool Cody's favour, and Cool Cody is £4 higher this year. So yes, I'm going with the Dan Skelton horse, the 6-year-old. Now there's 2 Grade 1 winning horses racing, which is Paul Nichols's Laylaw, which has recently moved from Kaylee Woodcock's yard. So it's going to be a good race. I'm excited about this race. Last time we saw Protectorate over the same distance, won under Harry Skelton at 17-2 after having wind surgery. So that could have helped a little bit. And Harry Skelton will ride again, 11 stone 10. But I also noted down actually that Dostal Phil, the JP McManus horse, was one to note as well. I quite like the look of this horse. Had 5 stars over fences in his debut at Newbury. Saw him finishing first by 5.5 lengths. So I have got that one to note down, but I'm sticking with the Dan Skelton horse. What about yourself?
Saying that, not anymore, but that Protectorate used to be a bit of a nightmare to get to start. Used to have a few refusals and non-runners. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was always one of those. If you got it to run, it was a beast. Didn't always fancy it, at least in the past. I have actually gone for Laylaw. I used to love watching this horse at Cheltenham, and it's got great form at Cheltenham. At first glance, you might you see a couple of seconds and thirds. I think if you're looking 2/3 at Cheltenham in 2020, but both very close finishes behind some real strong horses like Cepage, who I really rate and goes well at Cheltenham, and previously in January St Calvados. And it's always been a nose or a neck in third. And yeah, I guess you'd be interested to see what Paul Nicholls has done with this horse, and off of its previous form, especially at Cheltenham, it's got every chance at 5-1. So Laylaw is my selection.
Oh, so I think that's going to be a good one. We'll have one of those things again when we're thinking, oh, that's that person's pick. Well, we'll see how we get on, because we currently think we've had about 1 winner each, didn't we, from last week?
A couple last week. I got bagged myself a 20-1 winner, which is always nice in the handicap.
Nice.
So,
I tell you what, I was happy with, but slightly disappointed. My pick, Magical Spirit. It didn't have great form, but its previous win, it won at 25-1, and it came second. I think last week I said that would have been my each way bet, which was good. But I had a lot of non-runners, which is a bit disappointing. So it is what it is. But we go again this week and see what happens.
What would be your nap for the Friday card? I'm looking through it.
Ooh, good question.
I think mine would be that Editeur de Gite in that handicap in the second race. I think that £5 claimer is going to play a big role. And if you excuse it falling last time out, I reckon that's a strong bet.
I am going to say in the 13:45, Catfall Teal. That would be mine. I like this horse, and ridden by Tom Cannon. That's what I mentioned earlier. I like this horse. I think it will go well. So that would be mine actually on the Friday.
Well, fingers crossed. It's a great day's racing, and looking forward to going.
I'll be very envious and watching on my phone in jealousy. It would be great.
3 days of working / having fun and hangovers all in one.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're going to feel great on Monday. I don't envy that. So, no, it would be absolutely fantastic. And you know what? I mean, like I was saying earlier, because like some people, when I've spoken to them before, they always say things like, oh, but like, I don't know whether it's their wife or their husband, or they're not really that into racing. And I'm like, this is such a good day. And especially when there's so much going on. And I'm not being funny, but your staff from Clarkson's Farm is going to be there. So that's a bit of a highlight. It's me fangirling a bit. But yeah, no, it's going to be a great day. And we shall see what happens. And we will rekindle next week with results and more for episode 5 of the Weighing Room Winners Enclosure podcast.